Welcome to the bush. Yes, we're outdoors and all is good in the hood. We've just been walking for some considerable miles actually, and the weather's pretty good. I did attempt this a few days ago, but it was just way too hot. Carrying 50-pound plus, it was just a non-start for me. So you're waiting for the temperatures to cool down a little. I think we're around 22, 23 C, which is way better than 32, which was the other day, which is too much. So now I'll just show you around in a sec. We've got a really peachy, beautiful part of the world to spend the next 24 hours plus. And I feel the first thing that we need to do before anything else is, which I'm a firm advocate on, is shelter first. Absolutely. Once that's done, I'm going to be trying out a new chair, which I usually got my hands on, and I can't wait to unwind and relax and to practice a few bushcraft skills, survival skills, etc. This is what I do it on my own way, in my own time, and I hope you guys find this video of interest, entertaining, and maybe learn something as well. And if you are one of these guys and girls who can't get out for whatever reason, I hope this helps. Very cool to have a nice open access to drinking water as well, which we're going to be purifying at some point through the video. It's awesome here. I love it already. So what I'm going to be doing before the shelter is just prepping the ground, because you know I'm finding it that we need to find somewhere as level as we can so we don't roll all over the place when we're trying to sleep, and anything which is going to potentially puncture our sleeping air mat. So we're thinking of little spiky twigs. We're talking some holly, some brambles down there, maybe a few nettles and that sort of thing. So gloves on and clear all of that first. Only once that's been achieved and I'm happy with it, that's when I'm going to put the shelter up. The reasons being is I just find it a lot easier to get up and get down without the hindrance of a shelter directly above me. So to me it makes sense, and yeah, I think it's time that we made the ground comfortable, because after all we're going to be laying there for 10-12 hours. Well, so that's all of the ground cleared, and I just thought I'd share this with you because this is quite strange. I've not really come across this before. In fact, from what I remember reading up on, it's quite rare. I've actually found some food. Yeah, not only have we got hazelnuts left all over the trees, which aren't far away from being ready to use, so the squirrels aren't around, so that's good news. But secondary, who has heard of a chicken wing tree? Let me explain. This is quite rare. I've not come across this before, but check it out. A sticky wing tree. Wow. That is such an awesome find out in the wilds. It really is. So what I want to do is use this tree like a crossbar, and that is going to be the entrance to the shelter. Speaking of shelter, this is it. This is how much room the shelter kit takes up on my kit. I've got my basher in there, I've got tent pegs, I've got bungees, and I've got paracord, and it all seals up in this tiny little bag. If you don't know what this is a compression sack for a British Army jungle bag. So you can buy these anywhere online. I paid about £5 for this, brand new, very fortunate, and I think I've got a fair few of them because they are so handy. They can double up as water carriers. Use your imagination. Okay, so yeah, all of the shelter kit, believe it or not, is inside this little kit, and all we're going to do is we're going to put it, hang out over the top, run it down, and we'll just make it up as we go along. See, loads of space. Probably one of the best bits of kit you can ever get in the outdoors. It's a British military woodlands DPM basher. Basher is just an old army Indian word for shelter. That's all basher is. These, in my opinion, you can literally disappear. Way better than the MTP ones. You've only got to look at my smock, which is again DPM, which is disruptive pattern material, if you didn't know. And it works quite well for this kind of woodland. As you can probably tell, pretty much hidden out of the way. Here's a good tip. Every time we cut paracord, just melt it a bit, okay? Once it's like that, just be brave and just pinch it off the end, and you end up something like this, okay? What that does is it seals it, and it ensures that it doesn't just spread out and fray. So we've got our loop, which we've tied in the line. we're going to run the cord through and put it back up on itself. This is called a trucker's hitch. So if you want to get a line nice and tight, this is what you need to do. It's one of my preferred go-tos. And all I do is I just put a loop underneath, pull it through, and then cinch it all together. Once it's cinched together, it stays there. So to undo this knot really quickly, you just pull this quick and the whole thing comes undone real fast. Well, the shelter's up. I need to sit down, it's getting hot. It's gone over 22 degrees so far. So, if you guys haven't seen this, I've done a video about this. This really cool chair. I'll try and put a link up the top somewhere, but I'll figure out how it works. But so far, after doing the initial test and a few dry ones at home, I thought it's high time I'll take this real comfortable backpacking chair out and see how good it really is, literally out in the field. So, I'm telling you guys, there's no price in comfort. I didn't bring a hammock. The trees are just not right for it here. But the chair, oh, I don't know if you guys have been following me, but when I've done that overnight, I think it was the last time, I was getting a bit of backache. So I thought, I'm going to see how good these things really are. So one thing I like about this is it's extremely well made. It's none of that cheap stuff. This theoretically should last a bloody lifetime, providing you look after it. So, like I said, if you want to see really cheap crap gear reviewed on this channel, you're on the wrong channel. Simple as that. I'm only going to get stuff that works. So, here we are. That's the base of it already. Pretty easy really, straightforward. I don't know if it could all get in shot. It's really hard to film this, to be fair. So, yeah, I'm just going to get this chair together. Oh, that's better. Oh my God. I'll tell you what, I really think this chair is going to be a bit of a game changer. Excuse me. Oh, I really think I could just have a nap. Just like this. I've decided to put it in the reclining position because in my eyes that seems to be the most comfortable configuration of this chair, with the stool as well. So I can just literally just float horizontally pretty much. And yeah, it's way better than set up in a deck chair where you're hemmed in, and it's way better than sitting in one of those bolt upright little Tesco camping chair things. This is way much more comfortable. Like I said, when I've done a review of this video, if any of you watching are going to the UK Summer Prepper Meet this year, which is next week, it's not far away now. If you want information about that, I'll put the link below the video. Prepper Meet, you click on that link and it will guide you through what you need to do. And under that video, there will be a link how to book. So if you wanted to come over and say hi, I'll be putting my name banner up above my tent so everyone knows where I am. I'm going to be spending all my time in the day mingling with everyone. So come and find me, and if you want to have a go in the chair, say so. I think it goes up to 150 kilos, which is like 20 something stone, which is a lot. So it's very expensive. It's expensive for a reason, because it's high quality, it's super lightweight, and it's very strong and extremely well made. So it's like everything else, you get what you pay for. So far, this is literally turning a bog standard overnight camp into somewhat a luxury affair. It's so comfortable, I kid you not. So I've got my thumping great big thick air mat so I can get really comfortable in there tonight. And I'm trying out a new thing here, not sure what it's like. It's made by a company called Flextail, and we're going to see how we get on with this. A few people have told me about this on Instagram, so I wanted to see what it was like. So I hit them up, we had a chat, and now we're going to be looking at one of these cool USB chargeable air pumps. Just makes life a little bit more convenient. Rather than huffing and puffing for ages, you just plug it in, press a button, bosh, we got air in there. And another cool thing, you put it on the other side, real simple, and it takes the air out so you can pack it away. What could be simpler? So we've got our air mat, and it is quite a big one because I really want to be comfortable, because my back's been playing up, so hence the chair in a nice comfortable bed. So we found the right size attachment to go onto this little air pump. We're going to put it on there, and then we're going to just literally put air into our bed with a touch of a button. Will it work? Let's see. Yeah, it's working. It's done. Whoa! Welcome to the 21st century, Funky. Wow! Yeah, well, like a charm. And voila! Sleeping quarters. No time at all. Wow. What I love about this so far is everything's been so quick, clean and comfortable. So quite rarities some of you have probably found going out in the woods. Sometimes it takes time, site selection, clearing the ground. Is it too steep? Is it nice and flat? Is it covered by midges? Are you in danger of falling into a river, or is it on muddy ground? All of them things. I was so fortunate enough to find a level area in the mountains of Wales. Some of you who've camped in Wales before probably know what I'm talking about. As some of you know, I relocated to the Grampian Mountains here in Wales at the end of 2021, and I've been here ever since, loving it, exploring, etc. But one thing is very hard, is to find somewhere flat. Everything's up and down. So we're very, very fortunate to find this spot, and everything's all set up. So I don't need to worry about later on, okay? No, this isn't sort of things that I usually do, you know, tactical minded, etc. This is just a relaxing camp for me, to get away from everything for 24 hours, to experience nature, to reset and unwind. And so far, I'm not joking, this chair, super comfortable, no problems at all. Even the little footstool. This one here, it literally weighs nothing at all. I can't believe how lightweight this is. I think that's why some of it's expensive. You can get stuff a lot more affordable than this, but it weighs a ton and sometimes it breaks. But the strength in the materials in this is second to none. So I'm loving that. And I'm also thinking of using this, sat down while I build my fire for this evening. Just makes more sense. Rather than what I have been doing is just lounging on the floor, getting backache and stuff like that. So it's ideal to be off the ground, comfortable, to relax, conserve calories, and practice a bit of bushcraft in a bit. So far, spot on. So there we are. What I wanted to do is to give myself a bit of shade and a bit of airflow and a bit of height, so I can move around inside without crouching down too much. And yeah, it's brilliant. We're underneath a bit of a tree canopy, lots of hazel, and like I said earlier, check it out. Stuff that the squirrels haven't noticed, unless they've noticed and they're waiting for the right time, which is more plausible. So yeah, a little bit later on there'll be an abundance of hazelnuts, but the squirrels will probably get them, as most of you know. So yes, a nice little humble abode, I'm sure you'll agree. And as you can tell, there's plenty of room to just sit down underneath and get some shelter from the sun. And if it does rain, then we'll be absolutely fine underneath that. It went pretty good with tying it to the top, as you can tell. No worries at all. We're just using it as a frame. And yeah, that's us in there. Look, something completely different. Yeah, if you're a bit new to pineapple, let me let you into a little secret. This is seriously good for anti-inflammatory. Yeah, so if you've got any inflammation problems anywhere in your body, ingest as much pineapple as you can. Try not to get it from concentrate, try to get it pure. And the ingredients just says pineapple, not from concentrate. So that's cool. This, incidentally, is from my preps. This is coming up to being 2 years past its best before date. So go figure. So as always, even it says on here, you know, keep it in a cool, dry place, which it has been. So we're going to do something different and tuck into some pineapple in the outdoors. If I can open this without spilling it. There we are. Cheers. Oh, delicious. And do you know what? There's no metallic taste at all. I don't know if you can see. Huh. We've got some midges around here, so I've got another little trick for that as well. So we undo the KFS and we're gonna get stuck into some pineapple. I'll tell you one thing, this chair is making all the difference. I am not joking, it's so comfortable. I think I worked it out in this jar. I think it's about 280 calories of anti-inflammatory fruit. Way better for you than a Mars bar, which is the sort of thing I used to get up to. But now we're getting on. I'm approaching mid-50s now. I want to try and look after myself a bit more, you know. Oh, pineapple. Bliss. Cheers, everybody. So, we've been fed. And it was really nice, actually, them pineapple chunks. Something different. And, of course, anti-inflammatory. Check it out. It's worth it. We need to get some water now. We need to hydrate. I haven't got any water with me at all. So, I'm going to be using my trusted friend, the LIFESAVER Liberty. I've done videos on this before, but what I might do is just a sole video just on this. So anyone new who wants to learn about it, I can show you how to prime it, how to use it, how to take care of it, that sort of thing. But this is my go-to now. As you can tell, see, it's so small and portable and lightweight. You can take it anywhere, any backpack, whatever you feel you need to do. So we're going to go down to the stream. I don't know if you can hear the stream. And we're going to fill this up with some dirty stream water. And there's lots of insects about, lots of animals use this trail. So you absolutely do need to seriously pay attention when it comes to purifying your water. Now, I've been using LIFESAVER for many years now, and it's a brand I absolutely trust. But one of the things that I love about this is it's made in the UK. Yeah, none of that cheap Chinese nonsense. Not when it comes down to purifying water. You do have to be very, very careful. A while ago, I contacted Guardia. Yes. So, I'm absolutely on point with making sure that I only drink purified water. Please don't take risks from a stream. You don't know what's in it. You don't know how bad it's going to be. And Guardia, if any of you guys and girls have had it before, you know how bad it is. It literally knocked me out the game for 6 weeks. Lost loads of weight. And the only thing to kill that bacterial infection was antibiotics in the end. So don't muck around when it comes to purifying water. So not only that, I'm going to be trying this. Now this and a few other packs was given to me a while ago. I've never come across it before. So if any of you guys have heard of this before, let me know in the comments what you think about it. I'm not sure if these are issued to military forces in the UK and the ration packs. I don't know. But a cool thing about this is all you need to do is to fill water up to, where is it? This side. Fill water up to this line. Tear it off. It's got a sealable top and you can carry it as a pouch. It opens up so it can stand as well. So doing stuff like this, you don't have to drink water from your water bottle and it tastes of pineapple for God knows how long. Okay, you just drink it out the bag and when it's done, it's done. Very, very simple. Like I say, all you need to do is fill it up to the line, seal it up, give it a good shake and just give it a while for the powder. In this case, it's pineapple again. So no inflammatory issues at all on this camp. No, sir. So join me while we go down to the stream and collect some water and make sure it's safe so we don't get ill. As you can tell, animals use this, like I said. So there's going to be so many bugs and germs and insects and nasty things in this area, which is why it absolutely makes sense to check that your water is absolutely clean and safe when you come to use it. So here we are, bugs everywhere, and I'm not exaggerating. I am absolutely not. Collected our water. Once you prime and pump that, it's now safe. So there we have it. You see the water in there? like I said, don't trust it. Please don't drink it from the stream. You probably will get ill. Now, in my case, when it happened to me, it took 3 days from feeling okay. Then that was it. That was the beginning of the end. So, as an extra precaution, because I've been through such a hideous experience, any water left on the outside, I always make sure I dry and clean off first, because there is a small risk, and I mean a small risk, but it's still a risk of cross-contamination, okay? You start allowing water to come from there, any sort of drips that will come down and get into your cup or whatever, that could be disaster. So I always make sure that I just give it a good old wipe down first, so I'm not going to get any contaminated, dirty, bad water leaching into where I want to drink from. So now that I'm totally satisfied that there's no contaminated water all stuck around the outside, and especially moreover on the top of this purifier, now it's safe to actually use. So what you do is you make sure that that little lever is in its down position, you twist it and you pump it 3 times. That's it, no more is needed, and you'll see the rate of pressure which comes at the top. Now we're going to be using this item. Never used it before. It looks like the company's called Ration Tech. Like I say, anyone who knows anything about that, let me know. So we're going to peel the top off. In my experience doing stuff like this, it's probably best not to do it quickly, because it could go all over the place, literally. So we're just going to open her up. Wow, sweet pineapple. And you can probably see inside, that's what we've got to work with. So, like I say, a good thing about this is what they've done, let me just seal it up, is they've done that in the bottom so you can stand it, okay? If not, it's just going to wobble over the place and you can probably lose your brew. You don't want to lose your brew. So, let's get that nice, clean, safe water, which is in our purifier, into here, and then see how this pineapple drink is going to taste. It's a good idea because, you know, when it does get hot, you know, you're going to sweat, you're going to lose all sorts of good things, especially salt. So to put some sort of salt and electrolytes back into your body when you're moving around when the weather's quite warm, it's a very, very good idea. It's way better than just water on its own, okay? So let's see how this goes. So you can see the water inside there in the window. So when I hold it upright, it's literally probably about 1 inch from the top. So what we need to do is unscrew our top. Notice how dry and clean it is, because if that wasn't on properly, dirty water will get in there and get inside, and when you go to use it, you could get contaminated water. So always make sure before you collect your water that that is done up nice and tight on the top. Really important tip there. We've already pumped it 3 times. Next we have to do is engage our lever to point it in the 12 o'clock upright position. And then it comes out pressurized. Watch carefully for a complete demonstration. There we are. I think that'll probably do. There it is. How simple. Very clean, very quick, very efficient, and very safe. And also made in the UK, which is absolutely awesome. So there we have it. It's all in there. And I think because we're going to mix it, I think we should keep the air in there as well, rather than try and squeeze it up to the top, because it's going to make it a lot easier to mix. And before I shake it, I'm going to make sure that that's absolutely sealed. We don't want this going everywhere. There we go. What a great idea. It just saves more mucking around, cleaning up cups and stuff like that, etc. So we're going to give that a shake. There's no leaks, which is pretty good. And we're just going to let that sit. And then hopefully we can replen with some isotonics. But like I said, it's very important when you're outside and it's getting hot. The temperature now is around 22 degrees. So it's not cold and it's not roasting hot. But if you're doing any sort of physical activity, you will sweat. You will lose salts. So it's important to replace them as you go. I think it's working. Now, when I was at art college years ago, when I was doing photography, the term that I use is agitate, which is where you tip it backwards and forwards when you're mixing up the solution. So when you're processing your old 35mm film, shout out to you old school photographers out there, remember that? They were in the dark room with the fix, etc. Yes. So agitate, mix it all up. So Let's see how this is. There's no powder in there. Wow, it smells like sweet pineapple. So I'm going to be going for the deeper end of the tear. That's not bad at all. That's really not bad at all. Wow. It's got magnesium in there as well. Vitamin C, salt. Nice. That will do just the job out here. And of course you can just close it up if you're worried you're going to knock it over. So that's nice, isn't it? Wow, I must say, I'm so loving this chair. It's way too relaxing, and I've only noticed the time. So rather than spend all of my time just sitting there relaxing, work needs to be done. So I've given myself a bit of a challenge today. I did plan on finding a steak and cooking it up, but there was no steak. So luckily, excuse me, I went hunting and I found back there the chicken tree. Yes. So I thought, rather than use the frying pan with the steak, which I planned, it's all off the cuff. And I love doing this sort of thing. I just love it because if we're thrown curveballs, like we do get often in life, it's all about what we do with that up there. So I'm thinking, okay, I've fortunate enough to find some chicken wings on the chicken tree. Lucky for me. So rather than do that, I'm going to get a fire knocked up, and I'm going to get 2 thin pieces, which I can skewer through the chicken pieces long ways. So we can just turn them over rather than twist them. The stick twists and the chicken stays. That's just ridiculous. So we're going to use 2 thin sticks. We're going to take the bark off. We're going to skewer those. I might put some mushrooms on there as well. I'm not sure about it. The chicken might take a while to cook, and I don't want the mushrooms burning, so I might have to have a rethink. I might just do mushrooms on their own and do them halfway through the chicken's done, as a guess. So luckily for me, and I'm not joking, here in mid Wales, it's quite difficult to find woodland, which I can train in and do videos for you guys. Hazel trees. When I was down south, hazel trees were absolutely in abundance. They're quite rare out here. It's mainly beech and it's mainly hawthorn, etc. So luckily for me, right where we are, there's loads of hazel trees, as you can probably tell in the background. Hence what I showed you earlier with the hazelnuts. And yes, the squirrels will get the hazelnuts, they always do. You've got to be really clever to catch the hazelnuts before they get them. Anyway, that's a whole new story. So there's a fair bit of hazel to be coppiced actually. So it's doing the tree a big favour by doing that. And it gives me the materials that I'm going to need. So I'm going to be after 2 Y sticks, which I can rest my 2 little thin pieces, which I'm going to probably try and tie together. I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes. And maybe get some rocks from the stream so we can put around the fire. Or if I get time, I might try and build like a little a fire break, you know, a wind break in the back of the fire. So like a heat reflector. So the only reasons I'm a bit wary about that is, I don't know if you guys know, in the mountains of Wales, the ground is literally, you know, an inch or so underneath the grass is just rock everywhere. So to try and point some sticks and bang them in, I'm not sure it's going to work. But I do need to get cracking because time is flying, and in this chair, it's way too comfortable. But I need to get off my derriere and get cracking. So I think this little thin piece will do. So we'll just clear the crap out of the way if we can. We're right on the slope by this little stream here, so it's a bit precarious, but we'll endeavour to do what we can. So already I'm finding lots of dry firewood. Right, that will do. And as always, we're using the Silky Big Boy. Awesome tool. Seriously, good bit of kit. So let's see if we can get in it. It's not going to be easy. Done. That should do us. and see how we get on from there. So today we're going to be using this, which was very, very kindly given to me by Titus. If you're watching, bro, seriously appreciate that. I think it was back in 2020 and or 2021, something like that. But this is by Tops Knives, and we've got built onto there custom. We've got a ferro rod and a ceramic sharpener with a leather belt loop, all fully Kydex. And I'm not going to insult your intelligence. That is one sharp, very, very sharp tool. And if you can see on the blade, that's what we've got going on there. Always work away. We got to remove all of these pieces with ease, actually. Wow. You see that? Wow. It's so nice to have a nice sharp knife. So we're going to take off the green, and we're going to be using all of this. Wow. What a tool. Brothers of bushcraft. Wowee. So if you're using a knife and it's blunt, do yourself a big fat favour. Get it sharp. It makes life so much easier. Look at that. Just coming off with ease. Insanely sharp. Can you believe that? We're literally just sorting it out. Quick, fast, in a hurry. There we go. No more green, just like that. So if you do have a tool, make sure it's a good tool and it works and it stays nice and sharp. So I'm going to take a little bit more than what I need. Christ, this is an absolute sharp tool for sure. Just like that. We've got our end, we need to point it. Flipping out, this is vicious. It needs to be quite a vicious point, because like I said, the ground is very rocky here. So it's going to help us get it in the ground. I'm going to put a blunter point on there actually, because I've got a feeling that's just going to go into the ground and blunt very quick. So I think that will do us. So we got our point, that's about the length that we need. We just need to lose this bit because we just want the small Y on the top. Crikey, he just went straight through that. Bloody hell. That's just nuts. There you go. It's just what we're after. So a couple of O's in the ground and we should be okay. I think that will do us for a point. And I've already done the top. So we've got two the same now. We just put this away safely in its house. So that's what we got. Two pieces which we can put our thin skewers on to hang over the fire and let the heat and the smoke do its thing with that magnificent find from the chicken wing tree. That's the piece we need, about that length. And we just take the leaves off, don't need those. There we are. Something nice and thin, because it needs to be thin to go through the chicken wings, because they're very, very small, aren't they? And the little gaps between the two bones is where this is going to be going. So I think now the leaves are off, we can just take off any little branchy offshoots off, and then once we're satisfied that that's been done, then I think we should take the bark off as well. I don't think there's any issues with hazel as a food contaminant. I think I've done sycamore before, and I was a little bit concerned about contamination in the food. Wow, you can see how easy that's just taken that off. Absolutely insane. So good to have a nice sharp knife. So tops, once again, fan-bloody-tastic. The good thing about Tops is all of their knives are made in the US. And as far as I know, the steel is American as well, not imported from China, which is, I think, where we need to start heading back towards. You know, this country of ours used to be great as a producer. Now it's a consumer. We can see all around us the issues. So I think it's high time we started producing stuff. So yeah, shout out to Tops. Wow, what a blade. What an absolute legend of a blade. It's almost like it wants to do itself, if that makes sense. Very therapeutic, just sat here doing this by the stream. Lovely way to spend a day. It's good because you can focus and concentrate on what you're doing, and you're not giving a toss about what's going on around the world. To be fair, there's not much we can do about it. I always believe in we should focus on things that we have some control over. So our immediate family and close friends, that's about it. That's enough. That's more than enough to be getting on with. The second we start looking into things that are completely out of our control, I think it's just a waste of time. But that's just me and my little humble opinion. Sat in this beautiful little woodland in Wales, just doing my thing. So it didn't take too long, did it? So I think we need to put a nice point on there, because this is the end that's going to be piercing the little chicken bits. So it needs to be pretty good. Just make it a nice lean point, I think. Be a lot easier to thread the chicken on, as it were. Anyway, that's me. I think you get the idea. Every part of this blade is razor right up to the tip, so that's really nice. The only thing about hazel that I've noticed is you do get like an inner piece, which tends to be, I don't know, almost like very brittle bone. It's strange, but nonetheless I think that's going to go through our chicken nice and easy, I'd say. Beautiful. I could just do this for hours. Whittling, I think they call it. Very cool. We just take off all those sticky outy bits that were missed. As I say, it just makes it easier to skewer the chicken. Chicken. Wow, how awesome is that? What a tool. But this is very therapeutic, I'll tell you that. I'm struggling to stay awake. Wow, talk about in the zone. So gentle because it's so sharp, and you can hold the blade and pull the wood towards you to make it even more gentle, as it were. It's awesome. I love doing this. I could sit here for days just doing this. Completely relaxed and in full creative mode. Wow. Can't beat a sharp knife. It has to be sharp, to be fair. Try and do this with a blunt knife and you could end up snapping it, going too deep. You know, you just want to just shave off that very thin piece of bark from this little side shoot of this hazel tree. I've already put the point on the end, so that's a long, steep, sharp point, so it's going to make it very easy to thread it onto the little chicken wings. Yes, sir. Must say, it's a massive stroke of luck finding that chicken wing tree out here. And turn it around just for safety's sake. Apologies if the wind is disrupting the sound. I'm not sure if it is, but yeah, we do get a bit of wind and gust out here in Wales, out in the mountains. It's just how it is. If you don't like wind, you can't stand the rain, don't go to Wales. If all fails, try Wales. So, debarked, pointed as well, like I said. Nice and sharp. Yeah, my bro sent me this as retired US Marine, only just. So if you're watching, buddy, much appreciated. Love from across the pond. Yes, sir. Well, what I'm going to do is just tidy up around camp a bit. All this stuff seems to be getting in the way. This is providing a purpose, so I'm going to leave that. I'm going to take this piece off again. But what the good thing about these is you can bend it back like this, so it's a lot easier to get to. There we go. Noticed I've done the back cut there because it was starting to pinch. So as soon as you start to feel that, stop and then go from the other angle. And we can remove this piece, which was banging the way. Well, this appears to be rotten, but whether it's rotten all the way down, I just don't know. Very hard to say. I would say it is probably about quarter rotten, but we're about to find out. I'm pretty sure this definitely is. It's just falling apart. So we're going to start from here, and if it's dry, like I hope it is, we've got a decent amount of firewood for tonight's little fire. Right. I think we're pretty good. That's worked out just right. I'm not sure about that, but this is definitely worth burning for sure. It's hazel. The hazel burns great. So I think I'm going to zip that down and maybe batten it too. See how good that little knife really is. So I'm just going to wedge that between these two trees. So that's freestanding, making it a lot easier to cut. And it won't pinch, but it shouldn't do. Spot on. I think that'll do us just fine. Right, let's see how good this knife is. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine, but there's only one way to find out. So we're going to attempt to split this with a nice fresh piece of hazel. Piece of cake. No worries with that. So that's nice, isn't it? We like that. Yeah. The thickness of the steel really helps, even though it looks almost like a hollow grind. Done the job, no? What do you expect from tops and eyes? Sorted. I don't know if you can see what I can see, but yeah, the insects have arrived. It's been pretty good this afternoon, but we've just gone 6 p.m. here in the middle of Wales in the mountains, and they are everywhere. They are absolutely going to feast upon me. So I have a few tricks up my sleeve and see how I fare with the protection that I've chosen. This stuff. Been using this since 2012, 2013, something like that. And it's awesome. I love it. It's 100% natural. There's no chemical crap in there. This will prevent getting bitten, but it won't keep them away. They'll still be in your face and everywhere. It says on there that it's going to be lasting up to 5 hours. But in my experience, when it's hot like it is now, and it's sweating a little bit, reapply it every 3 hours. That's what I would do. Going to be using this. Yeah, all hippie, woo-woo. No joke. If you want to have a look at it yourself, sandalwood against midges and mosquitoes, excellent. So I think this was, there we go, £1.40, and it's a brand new box full up. So we could light some of those and see what happens in conjunction with this incognito spray. So hopefully we're not going to get eaten alive, but I will be reporting as we go through this overnight camp about it. It smells really nice actually. So we're going to shield it from the wind. And we're going to light this sucker up. Then hopefully the smell and the smoke will keep the little buggers away. Because we don't want them, do we? Yeah, man. Let's see what happens. So it's fire time. We've removed loads of the grass from where we're going to be doing our fire. We've dug down a bit, and we've fortunate enough to be finding lots of dead, dry hazel, which is one of my favourites. Reminds me when I was doing this sort of thing down south of England, around Portsmouth. So it's really nice to see some hazel in Wales. It really is. Like I said, most of it is pine and lots of hawthorn. Look at that. Crikey. It's incredible. So I'm really chuffed that we got this in abundance right here. As you can tell, it's bone dry. And all you got to do is hunt around some hazel trees, and you can just literally just pick them up, and they're just bone dry. They're perfect. So they've basically been living on the tree, they've died, and they've dried. So it's absolutely perfect. So all I'm doing now is I'm trying to grade the materials as we do. Start off with small and gradually work our way up. Then hopefully we will be good to go. There is quite an issue with midges at the moment, so it's going to be putting the old age-old adage to the test. Will a smoky fire get rid of the insects? Part of me thinks it will. So let's see, shall we? We can just go through all of this. Wow, look at that. Looks like an ancient pipe. Wicked. You can just tell how dry this stuff is. Piece of cake. That's what it should be. Anything that bends, don't use it unless you want to create a signal fire with lots of smoke. I don't want to create too much smoke, but just enough to keep these little gits away. So there's our base fire lay. We're going to make a little hole in the middle for our fuel bar to go in there, and once it catches we just cover it all over, and then we start adding to it as fast as we could really. So far the old incense trick seems to be working. There are some about, but not where I am, so we'll keep on with that. It seems to be working pretty good. So we've got a trioxane bar which I've been using a fair bit lately, and they're very easy to use, very successful. Again, if you're watching this, let me know in the comments. I'm going to break off a third of it there. Oh, and see how we got on, rather than use the whole bar. So that goes back in the smock so it doesn't get lost. So there's our bar, there's our ferro rod, and there's our EDC blade. Let's see. Done. How quick was that? We're going to put these tiny little twigs on there. And the secret of this is not to smother it. Always make sure that there's some airflow around there. We're already starting to get established. That's good news. That's really good. These are so light, they're so dry. Perfect. Whoa. A little bit of wind. I have to be careful where I sit because the wind direction is changing quite rapid. I think that's the secret of the fire, is not to rush it. And when you are building it, always ensure that you've got enough airflow. You could really get it wrong very easy if you were to just smother it. So as we know, fire requires oxygen, so you need to make sure that there's room around the twigs so they can catch nicely. Yeah, looking pretty good. Happy with that. So I think rather than just keep on, we're just going to let that do its thing for a bit. Then we can start putting the larger pieces on. I just gave that a little knock around to make sure that all of it catches nicely. And now we're going to start putting our larger pieces on. Move that away in case they catch. We might need the smaller pieces later on, just in case something happens and it starts to go out. We can always get it going again with the smaller bits. Some nice little tip there. We just let that to establish itself a bit, I reckon. Well, it's looking good. Everything's catching well and burning good. Wow, they're hot. Let's get out of the way of the smoke. The wind direction is going bonkers. And the good news, all the midges are gone. So it's actually working pretty good, which is nice. It's working great. All images have gone. So yeah, it's true what they say. The smoky fire does do the job. So we got a smoky fire. We need more oxygen. The chopping board, so thin, slides into any backpack. It's perfect. Voila! There we go. Just come back from the chicken tree. Guess what? It's time to make it funky. Yes. Now, I'm pretty sure that these cheap little things, they taste all right, but I want to make sure they taste as best as I can get it. So, whew. It does smell quite barbecuey, should we say. And we got the fire going to coals, so it's nice and hot. Not bad, not bad. But what we're going to do, I've got some olive oil there, and I've got some of the world famous funky spice. Some of you guys know from old where I'm going with this. So we got a little chopping board, we're on our chair. It's all very civilized right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some oil in. That's the beauty of having these sort of things in the bag. You can do all the mixing up then, rather than dirty other plates and stuff like that. So we're going to hope that doesn't fall over. We're going to put some oil. The oil is going to do two things. It's going to allow the spice mix to stick to it all, and it's going to feed the fire as well. So we've got our oil. I've done this recently and it's a bit tricky, so I need to get some little squeegee containers to contain oil. Anyway, we're going with this. Loads of it. Whoa. Because it's oil, I'm going to chuck it on the fire. And we're going to give it a mix around. So, didn't take long. All of the chicken wings are oiled now. Oh, this stuff's epic. So we're going to chuck the whole lot in. There we go. The whole thing. And then all we can do is just manipulate it all so it's all coated. Once this is done, I'm going to be skewering it on them sticks that I prepared earlier. Here's what I prepared earlier. Do you remember that back in the day? Oh, I certainly do. Showing our age, aren't we? What the millennial is going on. Go figure. Wow. Funky spice barbecue chicken wings are going to be going on that. So maybe because they didn't have any steak, this has turned out for the best. Trying to make sure it's all coated. Been hearing some weird bird sounds around here lately. Right. Ah! If it bleeds, we can kill it. The predator. Right, okay. So it's time to get our hands dirty now. Don't be shy, just get stuck in. So, we're gonna be living large out in the woods. So, there you go. Not too bad at all, is it? Funky chicken. Let me see, I reckon about there. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all of the chicken skewered on one side, and I'm just going to do the other. Wow. There you go. It's going to be the best kebab in the whole entire world, I'll tell you that. Hot smoked chicken. Yeah. That's why it's very important to make that spike long and shallow. So much easier to skewer that way. There you go, look at that. Piece of cake. Now I do reckon if I was to just do one skewer, it's just going to keep spinning. That's why I decided to do two. So hopefully my little evil plan's going to work out just right. Come on, in you go. Yeah, bosh. Only about 3 more to go. It's looking good. Looking really good. Look at that. Yeah. Steak's good, don't get me wrong. I've done steak. Been there, done that loads. So I thought, do you know what? It's quite cool that this has happened. It's sort of turning out to be pretty epic, actually. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get these in the middle. And what I might do, actually, is put a little bit of space around each one. Oh, God, I heard it snap then. Let's just hope this is going to be thick enough. Ugh. Right. Trying to do all this in one take. Brave man. So here we go. Here's our little needle, as it were. I think I'm going to use the chopping board now. It's going to make life a lot easier. We're getting there. Twist, push. These guys never stop, do they? What have we got? 8 o'clock. Blimey. Okay. Looks pretty good. What do you reckon? Fit for a prepper. So like I said, I think I'm going to give it a bit of space around each thing. Let's move it up there a bit. It's the same old, you know. Just use your brain and take your time. Then you usually end up where you're supposed to end up. I don't want to rush this after all the effort I've put in. So let's see. A little bit of space around each one. Now comes the precarious task of placing it on the hold-ups. Right, the moment of truth. Let's see if my little crazy plan's going to work. Oh, marvellous. I think that will do just right. Oh, yes. Looking good. Look at that right there. Look at that right there. It's crispy. It's cooked to perfection. Yes, sir. Oh my God. The hot smoky wings. I think we're ready. God. Oh. Well, I think that's enough. I'm too hungry to wait. Gee whiz. I'm playing silly buggers with the smoke, as always. Oh man, it sure smells good. Wow, damn. Whoa. Damn, that is, gee whiz, that smells, you won't believe how good this smells, people. You really won't. I think one stick broke. Wow. A mess tin full of wings. We did it. Oh yes. Well, the moment of truth. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a bit off the bigger bit just to make sure it's cooked. Oh wow. Straight off the bone. Look at that. Man, that's knocked out the park. Yeah. If that big bit's done, which it is, the rest of it's absolutely done. You've got to be careful with chicken. So I think we're going to lose the irons and we're going to use the hands. Look at that. Oh, goodness gracious me. This has been a long time waiting for this. That's insane. Oh. That is way, wow. I'm really proud of myself. That's come out top. Mmm. Hot, spicy barbecue. Flavours zinging everywhere. Mmm. Oh my God. These are, oh my God. Food always tastes better outdoors. It's bizarre, isn't it? Mmm. Wow. I'm going to strip them out of this. Mmm. Damn, that's finger looking good already. Mm. Mm. What a cool effect. Some sheep have just turned up. What, am I in your way? Come on, you can come past if you like. Come on in. Honestly, crackerjacks. Anyway, those chicken wings were rather ace. Oh, I'm not pulling your chain, Jack. They were fan-bloody-tastic. Now, it's about to be washed down with this stuff. Something a bit cloudy, something a bit smoky. Haha, we're using the squirt. There we go. Perfect. I think I may be on their trail and they're a bit freaked and they're not sure whether to come past. You can just walk past. I think they're probably scared of the smoke. Anyway, enough of that. Cheers, everyone. Well done for staying this far. Damn, I've missed this. Seriously. It's been bloody fantastic so far. Everything's been going awesome. I've even got the O lantern up there, which is good because it's helping you guys see me, which is nice. And yeah, we're not long past the summer solstice. We're just into July right now. So the evenings are still staying nice and bright. But I think someone told me a long time ago, it's 1 minute a day that we lose of daylight from the solstice. Let me know in the comments if that's true or just a bit of BS. I don't know. Either way, I'm hanging out with you guys and it's all good in the hood. Mm-hmm. Ah. Do you know, just as I sat down, thinking about my mates. So, guess what? Not far now. I think it's next Friday, next week, is the prepper meet. So well done for everyone who's booked the tickets and coming along. We're almost sold out. So if you do want to grab yourself a ticket, you might want to move quite sharpish. There's going to be lots of people like myself who are into preparedness, outdoors, survival, wild camping, van life, all of that sort of thing. Everyone's going to be there. It's going to be rather epic. So we're just waiting for our little campfire to kickstart because we want the smoke. I know it sounds weird, but it just keeps the midges away. It really does work. So as the smoke sort of dies down, the flames will come up. Speaking of the devil, they just come up now. So yes, we can kick back and relax. To me, this is what it's all about. My favourite time of the day when I'm doing this sort of stuff is the transition from the light to the dark, with the lights, the fire, the moon, the stars, all of that sort of caper. And we've got an added bonus of the stream. And guess what I heard earlier? Owls. Yeah, early, but true. So here's to you guys, especially you people who can't make it, or who can't do this sort of thing, shall I say. I hope this is cheering you up a bit. Makes a change from the TV, if any of you guys still watch that. I know I certainly don't. This is my TV. The great outdoors. No place like home. Let there be light. And there was light. How cool is that? Perfect. We got an audience. So everything's going really cool, and it's getting quite dark here in the woods. It's still quite bright outside, but yes, it's a noticeable difference. So I thought I'm going to check out my torch. This happens to be the Warrior 3S from OLIGHT. Yes, incidentally, the light up there is an O lantern, which I'm going to show you guys in a bit. But this is awesome. I'm going to give you a little demonstration of how cool this is. The beam on this thing is nuts. Just look at this. There we are. Wow. Check this out. Yes. Look at that. We can see everything in the dark now. Unbelievable. There it is. See that beam? Absolutely insane. Strobe too. I'll kid you not. That little EDC torch there is absolutely bonkers. You can see for a hell of a long way with that. Believe it or not, that's at its lowest setting. It goes very bright. Check. So you can see everything around the camp. Serious bit of kit. And also you can charge up your phone with these as well. Let me turn that down because it's just super bright. I like it on its low setting like that. It's really warm and ambient. Perfect for camping. You haven't got to worry about the paraffin spilling out and going everywhere. And they burn like this for days, actually. Well, I think I'm going to call it a night now. You won't believe how chilled out I am. Absolutely awesome. Had a fantastic time. And I'd like to thank all of you for staying till this part of the video. And I'm going to bid you good night because I am absolutely chilled to the max and I need my sleep. It's getting very late now. The fire is just about to burn out. So we're going to let that just do its thing. And I will see you guys in the morning. Night night. Oh. Good morning. Wow. Mixed bag of sleep on and off. I already do think I'm going to need to get a different air mat. This is good. It's okay, but I don't know what it is. I think, you know, when I go back to when I started YouTube. I think I was like 40 or something like that. And yeah, there's been a big difference in 13 years, 53 now. So I think comfort is getting more and more of a sought after thing. You know, when we learn about we need to love ourselves and respect ourselves, and if there's anything we're not happy about with ourselves, we should do what we feel we need to do in our own way, in our own time, to sort it out. And for me, you know, I've spent years roughing it and being uncomfortable, but as I'm getting older, I'm thinking, do you know what? I really need to put myself first and be comfortable. To me, it just heightens the experience. You know, the experience of being out here is just amazing. It's so relaxing. It's such a welcome break. So to ensure, well, for me anyway, that I'm as comfortable as I can make it, the better. So I'm not joking, that chair is an absolute game changer. I can't see myself doing overnight camps without it now. Every now and again, I probably will do some training and some tactical bug out stuff. But as a relaxed, unwind, get away from all experience, that chair is amazing. So this air mat, like I say, it's got a built-in pillow. It's not brilliant. I'm not a fan of those blow-up ones because they just slide around. They're a nightmare. I usually just roll my smock up and put that under my head. But the temperatures got down to around 10 degrees last night. It was quite chilly. So in a jungle bag, I decided to keep all my clothes on and my boots on. And it's not too bad. I had a bit of breeze on my face last night. But, you know, I think I'm going to need a decent air mat with a bigger pillow. I don't care what you say if you think it's girly or man up. I don't care. That's your issue. But for me, I'd rather be comfortable, thanks. And it sort of harps back to when I served years ago. My old sergeant, he actually said, any fool can be uncomfortable. So if you're happy being uncomfortable, you're a fool to yourself, probably. But that's just my take on it. I'd rather be comfortable and enjoy the experience rather than have a really good experience ruined by not being comfortable. So that's my take from it. Ugh. But I don't know what time it is. I've literally just woken up. So I think I'm going to have to get coffee on. And what I learned from the last overnight camp I've done is I don't need to rely on a fire to do it, because it takes time to do, time for it to cool down to make it safe, and time is against us. You know, I've got things to do today. So I've brought my old gas stove, my petrol stove, the Coleman 533. I haven't used it for a long time. I thought, you know what? I emptied it out, put some new fuel in it, tested it, it's fine. So that's with me. So I'm going to do coffee and I'm hungry. So I think I've got somewhere in my pack an all-day breakfast. You remember the days when I used to do all-day breakfast? They are really good. And it takes a lot of heat out of, you know, cooking up bacon and cleaning it all up. It's quick, simple, convenient. And that's how I prefer to roll when I'm out on my own and I've got things to do. You know, if I'm in a group, I'll get the great big frying pan out and make a bit of a thing of it. That's nice. But, you know, I don't see the point in bringing out an 18-inch steel frying pan just for myself. It just seems ludicrous in my world. So, yeah, a boil in the bag, British military all-day breakfast from my prepping stock, and a nice hot coffee. And I've bought the Java press because it's really quick. So that's my plans. Yeah, I think I'll have a mooch around and see what's about because I was so busy filming yesterday. I didn't spend much time. Oh, the wind's picking up. Can you hear it? So I didn't spend much time looking around the nature, so I'm going to bring you along with me that shortly. And yeah, so far I survived in a jungle bag with all my clothes on, and it was just enough. But any colder, I think it could have been a bit of a problem. But we don't know these things until we try them, you know? I'll tell you what, it's nice to be upright, and I know I've probably banged on about it, but this chair, it really is awesome. It's helping my back. I mean, that air mat is okay. It's probably about that, but I think I need something a bit more just to make my back pain that I live with more bearable. But this chair, oh God, it's so awesome. So yeah, like I say, it's good to be upright rather than laying down for God knows how many hours. I went to bed a lot earlier than I normally would. I was so freaking tired. I think mainly because I've just literally been soaking up all this woodland vibe, you know. As we said, you know, green is proven to calm you down. So I've been surrounded by this for hours and hours and hours. So it really sort of got to me, and I was like, oh, I'm getting tired. Then, you know, waiting for that chicken to cook last night took ages, and then finally having that drink, and that was the cherry on the top, just wiped me out. So now it's time for coffee, and we need water for coffee. This is run out because I used it last night. So I think we go down to the stream for a bit, fill this up, and I might have a little mooch around and see what's going on. Just like a little perimeter check, nothing crazy. But yeah, I just get that feeling, that intuition that no one is here, and that's a good thing. The weird thing was last night, do you remember when them sheep turned up? That made me jump, because I've literally been here on my Todd all the time. No animals apart from a few birds and the midges. And then all of a sudden there's like, wah, what? You know, 20 feet away in the dark, torch, bosh, 20 sheep just stood there looking at me. Silence of the lambs. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go get some water and make our coffee. So we need to get the machine up and moving and rolling around. That's what we need to do. So here we go again. Empty bottle, dirty water, and then it clean water. There we are. Done. Simple. So we got our water just from the stream there. You can probably tell the level. Right. So that's enough for our coffee instantly. This is what I'm using with my coffee. I think I've shown it on another video, but for those of you who didn't see that one, it's made by a company called GSI Outdoors. I'm not sure if you can get this pattern anymore. I did have a look, and I think I'll put it on my Amazon page. There's a shop thing below, but I can't seem to find this anymore. So if you're looking for the same one, you might have to really look around. But anyway, this is what I'm using for my coffee. There's the lid, real simple, and I'll store all my coffee related items in there. So what we do is we undo that, and all that is just an insulated mug with a neoprene sleeve. Right, so you don't burn yourself, and it keeps it hot for longer. So that's what that is. This is the cool bit on the inside. There's a little mesh bit, I don't know if you can see, but all of this is very, very fairy, and I mean, it's so fine you can probably hardly see it, but there's a mesh in there. All right, so what we do is we make our coffee and hot water in there, and then leave it for a while to let it mix up, stir it if you want. And then once you've felt it's been like 5 minutes, whatever you want, then you can just put this in the top and plunge it down. It seals around the outside, so none of the bits of the coffee that's in there get inside, which you drink from, all together. It'll make sense. So that's that. There's the coffee, already roughly measured it. I just chucked in a couple of tablespoons, because that's what I do. And honey. I have my black coffee with honey. There's a few reasons why. Moving forward, looking to the future and stuff. Yes, I know you can store sugar indefinitely, all right? But the problem with sugar is it leads to obesity and all sorts of diabetes and health problems. So I'm trying to go as natural as I can. Honey will store pretty much forever, okay? As long as it's half decent stuff, you keep it cool and dark, and that's what happens when you don't. So I just wanted to show you the difference, okay? So coffee you can store for years, honey you can store for years, and I don't need to rely on anything else. That's where I'm going with this. Always thinking ahead, one eye on the future, as it were. All right, so I don't need to worry about milk. I don't need to worry about how am I going to grow sugar, really. But yeah, you can absolutely get bees to make honey for you, and I know lots of people who do, and it is very good for you. So that's the reason why. And so we're going to have our long awaited cup of coffee. I really need it to wake my ass up a bit. I'm running on fumes, so we need our coffee, don't we? Just show you this quick. This is how I transport my stove. It was recommended by a subscriber years ago. He found a certain thing which fitted his, and I checked the measurements and I ordered it, and it's perfect. It's really good. It's made by a company called Nash. I don't fish myself. I used to sea fish a long time ago, but I've got no desire to stand by a lake all day. That's just me. But yeah, Nash, really good, hard wearing, and it's the perfect size for my stove. But not only that, the stove, as you can see, goes near the top, but you've got that extra room. Normally, I store all my spares kit, as I would call it. So it'll have like paste for cold weather. It'll have a spanner, it'll have a spare generator, it'll have silicone grease for the O seals. So basically a full kit which I need to keep this going. But because we're only out for 24 hours and I've checked it all, it's fine, I don't need to take it. And here is the stove in question. Awesome. Had this for donkey's years now. Put onto me by my good friend of mine, Pete, Maverick Outdoors. Brilliant. Absolutely love this. And I've had a new generator put on there and it works fine. So from my experience using these, try not to use unleaded fuel. I use a product called Aspen 4. I'll try and put it up on the screen now. Aspen 4 is an awesome fuel, and I think mainly used, where I got mine was from a lawnmower shop, a professional lawnmower shop. So yeah, but it burns really clean and really efficiently, so you don't get no soot. So that makes sure that your generator lasts longer and you get a faster cook, and it puts out way more energy than bog standard old fuel. Old fuel will end up clogging this, and yeah, good luck if you think you're up to cleaning those out. It's very, very difficult, almost impossible. So it's just easier just to get a few spares of the generators, and then if you do have problems, you can just switch them over. But I've found by using really clean fuel makes it, well, I don't feel like I need to ever change that generator. So that's the reasoning why. And yeah, it's high time that I use this trusty old stove because it is awesome. Right, here we go. So again, we're going to use this. We've already put it on there, the water in, we've tightened it up. We've got that set to there. We turn, 1, 2, 3, turn. That's it. It really is easy. Then we can undo this and we can turn the lever to the direction of the water, which is in the top. And we just wait for the water to filter through. So I turn that off, and then another little thing that I do is I close it back up. Then I depressurize it. So you hold it firmly here and slowly turn it anti-clockwise and listen. The pressure comes out, okay? All the time that you're keeping pressure in there, it's stressing everything. So if you depressurize it, and always make sure that you put some water in there to stop it drying out, these things will last ages. Okay, so we're going to use the stove, first time since I tested it. So always make sure that it's not filled completely with fuel. Leave some space in there because that allows the pressure. So the vapor is what we're going to need. So never fill it all the way up to the very, very top. And when you go to use this, make sure you unscrew it a bit so it's a bit loose, okay? Then you put your thumb over the hole and you pump it for about up to 30 times or whatever you feel it's needed. But always make sure before you pump, make sure that that's turned off. And you turn it all the way shut. Then, if you're using a lighter, make sure you keep it on your person so the fuel's warm. It will help, okay? If you leave that where it's cold and it's going to struggle to light, keep it warm. Open it fully and then light. Then all we're doing now is we're waiting for that generator rod to heat up, and once it's heated up enough, those yellow flames should turn into blue flames. So once that generator is heated up, that yellow should disappear, and then we should just have blue flames. Incidentally, this thing is 9,500 BTUs, British thermal units. So that is a lot of power that's going to come out of that stove. Wow. With that lid, it's not taking no time at all. And I think the reason why there's yolks of yellow on there is recently I've been using that on an open fire with softwood. So there's probably lots of pine that's getting burnt off. But nonetheless, we're not far away from a proper boil. Wow, it's taken just over 1 minute. That's insane. Yep, we're done. It's boiling already. Well, that's been, yeah, I don't want to tip it. That's been brewing for about 10 minutes, and I've stirred it about 3 or 4 times. And now is the time to plunge. So this is the vessel I was talking about. In that bottom piece there is that mesh. You can see through it pretty much. It's that fine. So that gets all of the bits out. I don't know about you, but when you have coffee and you look near the bottom of the cup and there's one of bits in there, I hate it. So I filter it as much as I can so it's smooth and there's no bits. This does it in one go. All you need to do is push it in there and slowly press. Now the secret is to do it slowly. There you go. So now you've got a cup within a cup, and if you wanted to, you can screw the lid on to keep it warm. You can drink from there. You've got a little piece on there, like a little mouthpiece. But the weird thing about this is once you screw this on and close that little bit off, and you turn it upside down, it will leak. So just be aware of that, okay? So now all I need to do is put my honey in and let it cool down for a bit and we're good to go. At last, first coffee of the day. The only thing I found a pain with these is it keeps it so hot for so long. You know when you really want that coffee quick, it's just too hot. It's like 95 degrees, it would just burn. But some people can handle hot drinks, I can't. I'd rather let it cool down a bit. So it feels like it might be ready, you know, that Goldilocks zone where it's got to be just right. So here goes. Oh. Wow, that's my coffee-gasm. That's bloody gorgeous, actually. Jesus. Oh, it's just the best. If any of you guys are wondering the coffee that I drink, I only drink one coffee. I do try other ones now and again, but my go-to one is by a company called Taylor's, and it's hot Java lava, or hot lava Java, something like that. Anyway, I've put that in the Amazon page as well. So if you wanted to try it, knock yourself out, it's fantastic. I think it's got a strength rating of 6. Taylor's did do one that was, I think it was an 8 or a 9. And I tried that and it was too much. I was just shaking all over it, just horrible. But this stuff is perfect for me. So yeah, check it out. So, sorry, I'm aware of little midges and stuff. So let's just put that down nice and safe. Because money's been tight, and those big fat cigars that I usually smoke, just can't afford them. The price of cigars, if you didn't know, since 2020 has gone crazy. I would, back in those days when I was working full time and I wasn't doing YouTube, and trust me, making YouTube videos, you don't earn as much as you would think. So £400 a month, £100 a week, yeah, it's hard. But, so desperate times, desperate measures, I've ended up buying these. Players Crush Ball. Players Crush Ball. I don't know if it's going to focus on there, but they're the ones that I've only found recently. It's just a tiny little baby cigar. Very, very mild. It doesn't burn your throat. I tried those cafe creme things, but my God, you can't smoke more than 2 or 3 a day. But these things, fantastic. So this is my little treat with my cup of coffee, with my little cigar. That's better. So having a nice coffee with a nice tiny little baby cigar, that's awesome. I don't do drugs, I don't do gambling. I drink a little bit. I'll probably have about a pint a week, if that. So it's a nice treat for me to come out here and have a bottle of cider at night time before bed, and a couple of these little tiny cigars, and that's it. That's me done. That's all I need. I think we can all learn from things like this, because anytime there's an excess of anything, it's out of balance, it's just too much. So if you just try and rein it in, and I think you appreciate it more, okay? I don't smoke these all the time, and I appreciate them when I do. Same as when I have a nice ice cold cider on a hot summer's day. It's a treat, and I really enjoy it. And if I was drinking ciders all the time, I'd probably feel like I need more to get to that relaxed state. Incidentally, speaking of cider, the ones I was drinking, those Henry Westerns, that was at 8.7%, really strong. I found a new one, Inches Medium, and I think it's like 4.5%. It's really sweet. I love that stuff. So they're inches, medium, and I think inches do a cloudy, which is around the same volume percent. They're awesome. They're really, really nice. Highly recommend those. And you know, you can feel like you can drink slowly rather than feeling the need to drink a whole bottle and get wasted straight away. So it's all a learning curve, and like I keep saying, you never stop learning. See? The problem with the cigars, if you don't token them enough, they just go out, which is fine, because you can make it a long, beautiful, lasting experience with your favourite coffee in the great outdoors. Yes, sir. The coffee's working, can you tell? Bloody hell. Coffee's done. I'll tell you what, it's a beautiful way to wake up. Just looking around and just taking it all in. It's really, really ace, you know. Like I said, and it's true, you know, some people may doubt it, but it is true. The colour green really has benefits to relax. I'm sorry if I keep touching my face, but every now and again I feel like something's landed on me. So maybe I might need to put some insect repellent on. I haven't seen much midgie activity. But anyway, all that aside, you know, it just makes you think, you know. And I think it's important that we try and make time, not find it, but we make time for ourselves to do something similar to this. Now that can be from all sorts of levels. Just taking a dog out for a walk, or just getting a bus to the beach, or going to a local park, or getting a friend to take you to the woods, drop you off for a couple of hours and then pick you up. Whatever it's needed, try and make that a priority for when you need it. And you're the only one who's going to know when you need to de-stress. Because let's face it, life has become so complicated, mainly because of the advancement of technology. You know, it's pitched to us to make our lives more convenient, more easy, more streamlined. But I think a lot of people don't tend to realize the word addiction. You know, addiction, you know, it's a very, very hard one to master. And I choose my words carefully. I think master is the right term. If we can master our own thoughts, our own energy, and realize how powerful and precious we are, then we choose when to pick up that phone and to go onto Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is. We choose when, and we choose to be in tune with our thoughts and our feelings. And if it's making us feel hypnotized, dazed, upset, triggered, we need to try and master to do something about those feelings as and when they arise. The easiest thing, turn the phone off, turn the screen off, put it down, get up, go for a walk, do something, tidy up, whatever it is. So I'm a firm believer of technology is great, especially the phone. Use it as a tool. Don't let it use you as a tool. In fact, I might make that a t-shirt. If anyone's interested, I'll get some done. Because I've got a merch account with my logos and things. So I might start doing some slogans. Because there are a few. Me and my partner, Rachel, we're very, very creative. We have so many ideas. And I think the reason why we get stuck is we haven't got the financial push to get these little projects off the ground. And sometimes we have these ideas, we put them out there for free, only for someone to come along and use the idea when they have a larger platform and maybe access to lots of money, and they're the ones who get the credit, and we're left feeling, bloody hell. So, you know, we're already mastering. Do you know what? If we have a good idea, keep it to ourselves, and we try and figure out a way to get our ideas out there, which will make us more money, which is what we all need, to be fair. The only reason stopping us getting money is us. No one is holding a gun to our head to say, you must do this, you must do that. It's not happening. So it is down to us. And I feel bringing this back, you know, making time to be in a place like this gives you time to think, to contemplate, to reflect, and to try and master our own thoughts, where we're in charge of ourselves, you know. And you can go back to all sorts of stuff in the past, why we might be who we are, you know, looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, do you like yourself for what you've done, the sneaky things you may have done, the bad things that you've done to other people, you know. I think it's high time we take responsibility for ourselves and our actions rather than blaming other people. I've been absolutely guilty of that, always blaming others. In fact, I worked with someone a long time ago and they brought me a book of excuses. So that was a sign there and then, the writing's on the wall. And we're all guilty of it for all reasons, and it's up to us to make time to be somewhere quiet. It doesn't have to be the woods, but it does help. Anywhere outdoors, whether it's the hills, the mountains, the beach, the park, walk around the block, whatever it is, just get out the house. It's almost like our energy is trapped inside these four walls and we need to get outside to find somewhere where you feel comfortable and to relax and just ponder, you know. How did I get to this age? Wow, what have I done? Am I happy with this? Am I happy with that? And give yourself a chance to think and be by yourself, to let these things materialize in your own mind, in your own way, in your own time, but have it like a background app running where you're responsible for you, no one else. You're the one who's got yourself in this situation, whatever it is, and you're the only one who can get yourself out of it if you're not happy. So pardon me for going on, but I do like to sit and relax and to just be, you know. I remember Richard Vobes, you know, most of you know that me and Richard are mates and we help each other when times are bad, etc. And we both support each other. And I like what he's doing. So he's coming to the realization now, he wants to simplify his life. Because like I said, the more complicated our lives are, the more stress, the more problems. So that is where I'm coming from as regards mastery of giving away our energy to a phone, a device, or helping everyone else but not giving a toss about ourselves. And it's a weird one because we've all been coerced and led to believe that, oh, you're selfish, or you're full of ego, you're up your own arse, or all that sort of thing, which is the opposite. We should feel good about ourselves. We should be proud of what we've done. But anytime we feel we want to express it, we sometimes have that fear of what other people may think of us. Well, here's a lesson for you for free. Don't give a toss what anyone thinks about you. It's not good. What you're doing to yourself, you're giving away your power to someone else and worrying what they might think. Screw that. Do what you want to do. If it makes you happy and it's good, you go for it, you know. Don't hold back. If anyone's saying, oh, you know, you're greedy, you're selfish, or you're begging for money and all that nonsense, just give them the finger and do what you feel is right for you. So that is my little pep talk for this video. Usually I do that sort of thing around the evening, around the campfire, but last night it got so late, I got so tired and I just couldn't. But this coffee's absolutely helped stimulate my mind, and like you saw earlier when I just looked around and just soaking it all up, and it gives you time to think. That's the important thing, I reckon. Okay, so we're getting hungry, we need something to eat. We just want a little bit of water to boil our food. A little bit more. That's probably about enough. I tend to fill it up to the bottom line of the Crusader. When you put a ration pack in there, it brings the water right up to here. And when you put the lid on and the pressure, it's right near the top. So it is a bit of a balancing act. But that's just the sort of thing that I do. And like I said, you don't need to purify this water because you're boiling in the bag. You're not having any of the water inside you. So that's absolutely fine. And also it saves the filter as well. So here we are then. Time for some scoff. We've got our water in there, which is just exactly on that bottom line of the Crusader Mark I mug. We've got our food, which is the British military all-day breakfast, all in there. And like some of you know by now, I squeeze it all down so I can literally just put it like this, mould it around like that, so that with the curve will just fit inside there. And I push it down till it's submerged. And you see what I was mentioning when I was at the stream. When you do this, it brings the water level right up. Now, even that, I might feel I need to tip some of it away, because past experience, when I do this, with the lid on, it creates so much pressure in there to get it hot quick. It just builds and it overgoes. And I don't want it to overgo over the top and get this all wet and get it spluttering. So what I'll be inclined to do when I see it at that level is tip a little bit out until I feel a bit more comfortable. That sort of level there is where I was looking at. So already I'm learning, you know, a learning curve to fill it just below that line, bottom line. So that's done, that's pushed down there and it's all submerged. Then we put our lid on, and don't ask me about this because it's really hard to get heavy cover. They just don't make them no more, they discontinued them. So I know someone who I'm not going to name sold one of these for nearly £100. That's how much they're in demand. And yes, I know some people, they want to make their own. Fair play to them. So tailor-made, perfectly fitted. And the next thing we need to do is to do what we've done earlier and to prime the stove. So we turn it off, we unscrew this as far as it'll go. Let me just make sure, yeah. So we put our thumb over it and we pump it. You don't need to do it too much actually, because it's good enough as it is. You have to be quick unless you like to burn the hairs off your hand. That's fully open now, and all it's doing, like I said before, is that little tube along the middle, that's where it vaporizes the petrol or the petroleum. So once that's heated up, it's going to distribute all of the vapor evenly, and it should just burn off that yellow. So we just place this on there and we wait. If you notice, I've put the handles as far as I can away from it, and I will be needing something to pick it off, because sometimes when the wind blows it will heat up this metal and you've got to grab it and ouch, you burnt yourself, you've got a problem. All right, so ideally I would like to find a wind guard that's high enough to go around this. I think I've got one somewhere, but I'll have to dig through my kit because I've got a fair bit over the years. And yeah, we just wait for that to boil by checking the handle. And once it's rapid boiling, the good thing about this is you can use the red lever to lower it so it doesn't just boil all over everywhere. Wow, didn't take long. So now we can turn this down, and you notice by the sound you can get it just right. This is cool because it saves gas and it saves it boiling all over the top. You just want to make sure that you can keep some pressure in there to make sure it heats up as quick as possible. So basically, the name of the game is efficiency. So using less fuel to get the same effect. If I was to do this without the lid, the water will evaporate and burn dry. You need more water. So it makes sense. Less water, less fuel. To me, it just makes sense to me. And we check it periodically. And what we'll find is every now and again, this lid will rise up. And that's usually because the bag's expanding and it tries to force the lid off. So we just keep an eye on that. And we just adjust the rate of flame with the little red lever there. Yeah, I don't think we're far away from that lid trying to force itself up. So I'll just check it. We can turn that down even more. Even without a wind guard, these stoves are bloody fantastic. Seriously are. And the more you use it, the more you learn, the better they are for you. There's so many things that you could do wrong with this stove. I might do a video just for this actually. I think it might help a lot of people, especially if they want to buy one. I'm not sure how to use it. So rather than watch a whole overnight video, I could probably just do a 5 or 10 minute video to give people the information that they need to use this little bad boy the best way possible. Awesome. I would keep that in there for a minimum of 10 minutes. Now you can do it for less, but I want to make sure that it's piping hot, because that makes sure all of the contents are cooked through properly. It tastes better when it's hot rather than it's like lukewarm and it's still cold. There's nothing worse. Don't get me wrong, you can eat these bull in a bag things raw. It's nowhere near as nice as when they're cooked now. But it's entirely up to you with your situation and how you're doing. But the bag is filling up and expanding. See, it's forcing the lid off there. So that's another thing we need to be made aware of. Because that's happening, pressure is building, it's being released through the top because now there's a gap, so that water level is going to get low. It's something you do have to keep an eye on, because if you don't, it could boil dry and it will just melt the bag and it will just be stuck to the bottom of your cup, and it'll be a horrible mess, because then you're going to be eating food mixed up with plastic, and that's not good at all. It's just a case of monitoring it. Yeah, the water level's still there. It's taken me a while to get to this idea, but it works. It works really, really well. So we're done. We turn the lever off, and the good thing about this, because it's got a lid, it's called residual heat. So there's lots of heat still in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to push the lid down, keep it down for a bit, and then we keep the heat in there. Okay, so theoretically that will carry on heating up the contents in there without using any more fuel. In my way, that seems to work even at home. You know, you're boiling something, especially if you're using an electric hob. If you've got the lid on, you can turn it off. That hot plate will still stay hot for up to 10 minutes. So you can turn your cooking off 10 minutes before it's needed, and it will still carry on cooking. It's called residual heat. There is residual of heat within there, and it will carry on. So we can leave that for 5 minutes and it will carry on slowly cooking. Saves more gas as well, and it gives us time to get other things prepared that we need to do. So it's been sat in there for a while. We're just going to make sure that's absolutely fine to use our bare hands. We put that down to one side. We check that with our hands. Yep, that's all good. It's already pushed up the plastic. You know, when I folded it all down, so one half of it's flat, this is the flat piece. So we just be careful, really. So we take it out of there. We're going to use a chopping board for what we're going to do next. Put the lid on, because hot water is always precious. So we're going to use that to clean our spoon with in a sec. So we put that to one side in case it falls over. Now we've got our food. So we're going to use our hat, because this is very hot, by the way. You can use your hands if you want to, it's up to you. I'm just doing it this way. Then we're going to press down from the top. So you're pushing all of the food down. And we're going to use this. Now, some of you guys remember this knife from a long, long time ago. Let's move this out of the way. It's the Bark River Bravo Necker. Very, very expensive knife. It cost me a whole week's wages, actually, back in the day. We're talking 2012 now, a long time ago. So we haven't used this for a long time. It's razor sharp. So what we're going to do is we are just going to go across like that. And there we have it. Ew. So we can finish off there. We can finish off there. We put that down there safely out of the way. Now we've got all of our food already cooked, and to me it's easier to eat this way rather than the other way round. So what we can do, I don't know if you remembered that we had our spoon which has got bits of coffee on there and stuff like that. We've kept our hot water, so at the last minute we can pretty much sterilize it. Okay, I know that's stream water, correct, but because it's been boiling for more than 5 minutes, it's fine. So now we've got a clean spoon, all of that is clean inside, and we're going to be safe. If anything happens otherwise, you could run the risk of getting germs, infections, and that's all well and good because we've got access to healthcare. But should the big day come, we have to be under no illusion that there won't be no hospitals or doctors to look after it. So if we get sick, we stay sick. So at last, it's breakfast time. Now the reason I showed you all of that is it's the only way that I've tried and tested and verified in my own way. That's the most efficient way to cook with those items, and this is the most logical way that I can find to make sure that we don't get sick by ingesting any bugs. So hopefully it helps, especially if you guys are new to all of this, and even if you've done this for a while and you've not considered these things, I hope it makes you think another way, because let me tell you this, I'm learning all the time. And you know, I've always said this, you know, there's people out there who claim they know it all. They don't. I'm still learning, and I'm not joking. Every school is a school day. Every day, every day is a school day. So there we go, look at that. Beans and sausages. Fantastic. So I'm going to enjoy this. It shouldn't take long to plough through this. Oh, it sure tastes and looks and smells amazing. Wow, that was lovely. I just went for a nice long walk around the area where I am, and I filmed loads of lovely little things about the things that relax me. Usually, most of my videos, if I'm lucky enough to find some, I always look for a water source for multiple reasons. One, obviously we need water to survive, and I've got a purifier, so that's good. Two, I love the sound. It really chills me out, and I love watching it and filming it. So I hope you enjoy these next series of clips of some nature things to hopefully unwind you a little bit, if that's what you're into. If not, just skip past it. But this is for you guys who love to be outside, who probably can't be. hope you enjoyed that as much as I did experiencing it and filming it too. So I think it's high time we started to square things away, and always the leave no trace policy applies. What I'm a big fan on is wherever we spend time in nature, we should absolutely respect it, not just for ourselves but for the wildlife as well. So what I'd love to do is make sure when I arrive and when I leave, it looks like I've never ever been here. And I actively encourage any of you guys who do the same or who are thinking of doing the same to really let that sink in, because it just gives us people who love to enjoy nature and the great outdoors a bit of a bad name. So leave it as you found it, and all is good in the hood. So let's get this place all packed away and sterile, as we call it in the trade. Okay, so that's the end. Everything's been cleared away, packed away, etc, etc, etc. The fire pit, which was right here, what I'd done was I just lost, there was like a tiny bit of like burnt wood, and that just got lost in and amongst the undergrowth where no one really goes. And I scooped up 3 double handfuls of ash, walked down to the stream and distributed it into the water. And I checked a few minutes later and it's like it never happened. So all of those tiny bits of ash just literally been washed down the stream and just gone really. All of the grass that I removed before I done the fire area was left there, and it's just been carefully put down. And what I might do, there was like a great big log, well, side of a branch when I first come here, and it was so rotten I just touched it and it fell off. So I'm going to literally just put that across because it looks like it's fallen from where it come from, so that makes sense if anyone ever did come through here. And incidentally, I don't think I do think anyone comes through here. Despite the treks in and out of this place, and I've been here a few times now, I've not seen one single human footprint, and I have been looking. There's been no signs of broken branches along the sheep trails. So that is a really good indicator that literally it feels like I've got this whole place to myself, which is awesome. But nonetheless, it's not an excuse to be sloppy. Always make sure that you cover up your tracks wherever you've been. Everything that's been used has just been distributed where it needs to go, and the rubbish bag. Always take your rubbish home. It really does my head in when I go to a woodland and I see beer cans, beer bottles, beer bottle tops, all sorts of nonsense like that just left. There's no reason for it. It doesn't weigh much. You took it in there. You should be responsible to take it out. So I'm going to need to get going before the midges turn up and eat me alive. They're literally just coming out now, which is really odd. So that's me done for this overnight camp. I can see everything's packed away, everything's been squared, all done. So hopefully that message, that really important message, gets passed on to whoever watches this video. Incidentally, if any of you guys are interested on some of the items that I've used in this video, there's lots of links underneath, so please feel free to take your time and look through the links below and click on what you feel you need to regarding the water filters, the torches, the chair, all sorts of things like that. And even that little gadget that I blew the air mat up with, that's in there somewhere too. Also, if you want to help, you can support underneath, all those links below. Since what happened with the police a long time ago now, it's almost like I'm shadow banned. These videos that I do, and I do spend a lot of time and effort in making them, putting them together, don't seem to get out there like they probably should, considering the subscriber count that I have. So any help that you can, I'd really appreciate, but you really don't have to. Please don't feel obliged that you have to, okay? If you can, great. If you can't, that's fine too. There's also links to a newsletter, which I try to do at least once a week or even 2 weeks. That's below. Also, I am now on Patreon due to popular demand, and I've got a decent following there already, so that's good. So I'm on Patreon, there's a newsletter there. If you want to send me something, that's absolutely fine. In fact, I'm really sorry that I forgot your name, but I've got a message, I think it was last week, someone sent me some cigars, which is absolutely gratefully received. Sorry about this, it's crazy. And there's a PO box, so send stuff to there, that's really appreciated too. So that's pretty much it from all of this video. I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me on this crazy 30 hours probably. It's been really fun, and yes, we managed to evade the midges, although they're coming back. So if you guys are in Wales and Scotland in the height of summer, you know what I'm talking about. So I hope you've liked it. If you really liked it, hit the thumbs up, and if you liked it loads and you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, but don't forget that notification bell. Like I said earlier, there's a thing going on with OLIGHT right now, so if you were subscribed and notified, you would have got this video ASAP, and you would have been in with a chance to save up to 50% off on loads of stuff that OLIGHT do, which is awesome, by the way. So it helps me a little bit, and it's going to help you save like half of the money. So that's cool too. So with all that being said, don't forget that there's the UK Summer Prepper Meet on the 11th of July, which is next week. So I hope to see you guys there. Don't forget, if you are interested, it's advisable that you book sooner rather than later, because last year loads of people rushed at the end and it was sold out. We couldn't fit any more in, and they were turned away, unfortunately. So if you don't want to be turned away, make sure you book soon, because it's only a few spaces left. There's links below about the Prepper Meet that myself, Mind Wiseman, and some of the old school guys who have been doing this for years is all going to be there, and we're going to be mingling throughout all of you kind folk during the day, and it's going to be awesome. So you guys take care. All right, thanks for watching. Stay funky.